Of all the couldas and shoulda beens in the Assassin's Creed series, I think one of the most disappointing we never got was the initial idea for Assassin's Creed Victory. For those who are unaware, Assassin's Creed Victory was the codename in development for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Shortly after the release of AC Unity in 2014, there was a bunch of leaked information, screenshots, and Kotaku, who first published the leaks, even saw a 7-minute video of target gameplay footage for Assassin's Creed Victory that was ultimately very different from what we ended up getting in Assassin's Creed Syndicate the following year. And while I don't hate Syndicate by any means, a lot of my biggest issues with the game wouldn't have existed in what the original plan was for codename Victory. The original idea for Victory sounded a lot better than what we got in Syndicate in my opinion, and plenty of others think so too, as there's plenty of mods for Syndicate that try to bring the game closer to what AC Victory was originally reported to be like. These mods range from outfits to reshades. Someone even tried to entirely rework the game to fit how Victory was described. But what exactly about the original idea for AC Victory had so many people intrigued and still trying to bring Syndicate closer to what it was going to be over 8 years later? Well, for me, and a lot of people I think, the biggest selling point of Victory addresses my biggest issue with Syndicate, and that's the tone. Obviously, everyone who's played Syndicate knows the game has a rather light tone when it comes to the story, characters, and atmosphere. Even from a visual standpoint, the game is very bright and colorful. And my biggest issue with the game is I felt that the tone always clashed with the setting of Victorian London, a time period in real life that was very dark and brutal. Hence why I loved the Jack the Ripper DLC so much. It did a much better job of successfully capturing the atmosphere of Victorian London. Well, Assassin's Creed Victory would have essentially taken this on a much larger scale, as the whole game would have had this darker, grittier, serious tone. One I feel would be far more befitting of Victorian London and for an Assassin's Creed story in general. Victory was also only going to have a single protagonist by the name of Samuel Fay, which would have addressed another issue I have with Syndicate in how it handled the dual protagonists. Now, I don't necessarily have an issue with dual protagonist games. I mean, typically I prefer just one character to play as and follow in the story, but other games have pulled it off successfully, most recently Spider-Man 2. But I didn't love how they did it in Syndicate. First of all, Jacob and Evie don't get equal playtime in the main story, and aside from a few abilities, they really don't feel all that different from each other when it comes to gameplay, especially when they have a majority of the same animations. On top of this, Samuel Fay had a really cool outfit that I think looks better than any of the outfits in Syndicate that was showcased in the leaked screenshots, and once the idea of Samuel Fay was scrapped, they decided to give his outfit to George, the assassin at the beginning of Syndicate, who never shows up again. They didn't even make this outfit available to equip for Jacob, which I thought was really lame. Luckily, there's mods on PC where you can equip the outfit on Jacob, and even the original color scheme in those leaked screenshots, but I don't understand why they couldn't at least make it an option for Jacob, since the outfit already existed in the game. Now, it's not like we ever got any official reasoning for why Ubisoft decided to abandon the original idea with a darker game surrounding Samuel Fay. I've said before, I think probably one of the reasons is because there was a big controversy at the time about Assassin's Creed not having female protagonists, so I feel like that could have been a factor as to why they decided to go with the Fry twins and abandon the idea of Samuel Fay. That could also explain why there's not a ton of gameplay difference between Jacob and Evie, if they weren't even planning on making a dual protagonist game until way later in the game's development. But that's all just me speculating. I'd be really curious to hear the reason why they decided to shift gears so late into the game's development. I'd love to see that target gameplay footage that was leaked to Kotaku as well. These leaked screenshots we got are actually from that footage. It's not like real in-engine gameplay, it's like a specially made video video showcasing what the game will look and feel like, so Ubisoft can get a sense of what the game is. We actually got to see the original target gameplay footage for AC3 back when the remaster was coming out. That showed some really interesting features they initially planned to be in the game, so I'd love to one day see this footage for AC Victory, because that would give us a very clear idea of what Syndicate was originally supposed to be. But another one of the biggest things from that footage and the leaked screenshot was how the rope launcher could be used. It seems originally it was supposed to be a lot more versatile and dynamic. You were supposedly going to be able to shoot the rope launcher at the ceiling and swing in and assassinate people. You could even probably use it to escape from crowds and stuff too. It sounded like you could actually do a lot more with the rope launcher than just use it as a traversal mechanic to get from building to building. Now maybe they just ended up cutting this out because they couldn't get it to work right and be as dynamic as they wanted it to. This happens a lot with games in development. They can't do absolutely everything they want or plan to, but I think this would have made the rope launcher way better. There would have been so much more you could actually do with it and use it in some really creative ways in stealth. Again, Assassin's Creed Victory remains one of the biggest what ifs in the series for me, right up there with a Bayek sequel or a game with Arno, Connor, Shay, and Avalon. I think Assassin's Creed may be the king of missed opportunities, but I know plenty of people still really like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I just feel this original concept would have been so much better, but I'm thankful there's at least some great mods that can somewhat bring this scrapped idea back to life. Let me know in the comments though. Would you have preferred the original idea behind Assassin's Creed Victory, or do you prefer what we got in Syndicate? As always, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and considered subscribing to the channel if you're new. A special thank you to my members for supporting me, and other than that, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day, Assassins.